Welcome to Go for Lethal. My name is Tabani.
I'm Dean Kazanov.
I'm Zach Chamberlain.
I'm Chris Locomore.
We set it up so that we would be aligned going down the this was not totally a coincidence.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I tell them the actual reason because I was dwarfing Zach. If I sat in the middle,
yeah. We are back again, finally, for another in-person episode. We've been doing remote for the last couple weeks because all of our schedules have been crazy. This is my new apartment. This is the only way I could lure them all here. But look, we have a lot to talk about because a lot of stuff has happened within One Piece over the last few weeks. OP12 has just come out in the States, right? We got OP13 following right afterwards, and I think ST22 comes out like
the 5th.
Whoa.
The 5th, yeah.
Don't forget PRB. We're all looking for cards from PRB.
Oh, no,
PRB,
of course. But I'm saying, does
October.
ST22 come out before PRB?
Yeah, much before. Yeah,
ST22 is right before Nats, so it's on September 5th.
Okay,
next
perfect.
week, right?
Yeah.
Next
PRB
Friday.
is in October. That is a whole different world.
Whoa. It's gonna be here.
Well, let's talk about it very quickly. First off, I know we've been trying to do some evergreen segments. One thing we were thinking about was some hot takes, and we were asking Zach if he had any hot takes. He said he doesn't. That's a fucking lie.
Yeah.
But Dean said he had a couple hot takes to give us real quickly, just so we can discuss it. Dean, can you give us a little bit of like an appetizer before we get into the meat of OP12 and OP13?
I don't have many hot takes. I have one hot take.
What's your hot take?
I think Enel is tier 1 this format.
I don't think you're wrong either.
Yeah,
I don't think you're wrong. Because he cooks.
he's saying
Zoro.
something. He wants to say something on play. Something.
Oh, so
something
you do have it. So you do have it.
I have mixed feelings because I love Enel, but I Blackbeard, and you laugh when Enel sits down
He
next to
is
you.
Marshall
Oh my
D.
God,
Teach.
dude. Zach can't break up with a deck.
Yeah, I think,
Zach,
the main problem is Blackbeard beats it, but like the
hurt you, Zach?
the problem you run into is like if you play Blackbeard, you just lose to everything else.
Yeah.
No.
Facts. Well, look, I'll say this. We had our first large OP12 post-ban results this past weekend. There were several case tourneys that we can go to and be like, hey, these were 60, 70, 80 player events,
Eggman
right?
had like 17 case tourneys, bro.
Yeah, there were so many.
There's a
Eggman's
lot,
having more case tourneys than Dr. Robotnik's having fucking machines and zones, dog.
That's crazy.
Lost on me. Actually lost on me.
Wait, really?
dude.
You're not
Yeah.
a Mega Man guy?
No. What is Mega Man?
Did you say Mega Man when I made a Sonic reference?
I'm
Dude,
sorry.
all of you were
Oh my
fired.
God.
I'm sorry.
dude.
No.
Wow.
My bad. I my brain went to Dr. Wily for some reason.
Was that a Sonic reference?
That was a
That was a
Sonic
Sonic
reference.
I know
Yeah.
Sonic.
Dr. Robotnik is
Dr. Eggman.
Dr. Eggman.
Oh.
Yeah,
Like
so-
Jim Carrey.
Yes.
You're just baiting me. That's what this is. You're
was
just
just
baiting
rage
me.
bait.
Fair, my
That was-
only Sonic experience is that movie and Sonic Colors on the Wii.
Bro,
So-
listen to me. Dean would 100% join like an anti-Arab protest just to fuck with me. Just be like, hey, what's up, bro?
dude,
Just
honestly,
you don't belong here.
be like that Larry David scene, the two sides of the chicken restaurant, dude. I'd actually be very, very pleased to just be on the other side of you, just yelling, "Don't come to my chicken restaurant, dude." Okay, well, let me continue on my hot take. The reason I'm saying that is not just because I'm a filthy NL player or a filthy yellow player at heart. I do think in terms of what is tier 1, for me, my definition of what is tier 1 is how well does it play into the other tier 1 decks. So you can be a tier 1 deck that is in tier 1 just in terms of power level, and that's Zoro. Without a doubt. Zoro's power level, just the built-in mechanic of the leader and including the support they gave it in Kuina and Tashigi and Mihawk, crazy. And nobody's arguing that, right? But then, the format kind of shapes around it. Like we talked about in the last episode where we have meta warping decks, right? Now that Blue Purple is gone, it's without a doubt Zoro is the meta warping deck. So I think,
I think we should just dive into OP12 if that's the case. If we're gonna talk about it, because we're already going into Green Zoro. Listen, this new format, I think we were talking about it on the way up the stairs, which was that it's a format where you don't have a clear-cut deck you want to play, right? Right off the bat, some starters. Zoro, incredibly strong. Rayleigh, incredibly strong. I don't want to give you shit, but I fucking told you so. I told you. I told you for months.
Let me give my justification, dude.
I know. No, you have your justification.
The support for Rayleigh was insane. That leader ability is dog.
Yeah, the leader on its own is terrible.
But that's what I'm saying is like, to be honest, no. But like that support. That leader ability is what makes it like
no.
It's
dude.
the support.
No, with the support in tandem.
Well, yes, but it's like the 4 free events it has that like free Diablo Jambe, free Searcher that gives you a Dawn on your week.
No, of course the events make that 100%. I'm not gonna front about that. But I do think that so for Rayleigh and Zoro, right? The two like just stand out strong. Crazy like aggro.
From OP12, yeah.
Honestly, both of them very, very aggro, very, very aggressive decks.
Yeah.
Blue purple nerfed. We talked a little bit about the nerf on our little live stream, right? And we're gonna hopefully do some more live streams at some point. And we talked about how blue purple ends up after that. And then I think we were talking about Sakazuki. How Sakazuki's going to do when he comes back in. So I want to open it up to everybody here.
I think that's a bait too, by the way.
Huh?
I think that's a bait too.
Sakazuki?
Yeah.
I agree with you. But let's start with the topic everybody's on pretty much been talking about is Green Zoro, right? Green Zoro is incredibly effective. You have the 5-cost Ashiki, you have the 4-cost Kuina. He like it's easily one of the best decks in the format. A lot of people are like, what the fuck do you do against this deck? Long term, with what we saw in Japan, how do we feel this deck stacks up? Is it tier 0? Is it tier 1?
It's tier 1.
Tier 1?
It's tier 1. I think the thing that you run into.
Do you think it's better than GP for this format?
So this is kind of what I get into. Is I feel like Zoro's matchup spread is pretty good, right? But it has some like really tough auto losses, and that's where I was coming with the NL thing. But I mean, I feel like Zoro's also very easily techable against.
Why does Zoro lose to an L? Give us the.
You can heal. You can just out heal them. You can out heal the swings, can't you?
Yeah, well, it's just a matter of like if you're.
I mean that, but Nami can.
No, Nami does not have the heal power.
Not the same rate. I mean, the thing with Zoro is the way you beat Zoro in like a general sense is you go wide, and then you out sustain with the life, right? With your life.
Yeah.
And so like the idea is you go wide, you protect characters, you protect board, and then you just take a life. That's how you beat Zoro.
Zoro is fundamentally, I guess this could be my hot take. It's like Bonnie and Anel. It's the ultimate skill check deck.
It's so oppressive. It's the scrub killer. This is the scrub killer deck.
I agree. But I mean, I feel like you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me similarly of Shanks, right? Which was a very simple deck. Very easy to play for a lot of people. I think Shanks was maybe a little bit stronger when it came out the gate, you know?
Than Green Zoro now?
Huh?
You think Shanks
when it came out?
And it's fit within the meta?
It was incredibly strong.
Shanks?
Yes.
I think Green Zoro is infinitely
better in the meta now than Shanks was.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember when Shanks came out.
Oh no, not meta warping. I'm just talking about strength in the meta.
Yeah,
right?
no,
like, he's not going to change the whole meta.
No, but like think about it. When Shanks came out, Blackbeard was strong. We had Ploofy up there. Like the Dofi was still in there. Like everything was still strong as fuck.
It didn't change everybody's. But I think within the meta, it fit in, and it was a very, very strong deck.
Yeah, but Zoro's, I think, edging towards the top of that meta. That's different than.
Okay, I'll give you that. All right, all my takes are just getting shot in the fucking head. Jesus, am I Joe Pesci?
Take them out back, dude.
Take them out back. It's crazy.
Okay, no, but I was saying like, look, I mean, it just feels like Shanks in the support, right? Like you have a perfect curve support. You have 5-cost Sheik, you have 4-cost Quina, right? You have Mihawk, right? You have like it has like a very nice little spread where you're not really like figuring out what you have to do every single fucking turn to make up a play, because it just kind of works. It's very intuitive in the way it works,
and that's why give it enough time, people will beat it. I guarantee you. I don't think
I think people can beat
now, it. I think has a losing matchup into it. I think in a week to 2 weeks time,
this man is crazy.
I think, and yeah, honestly, I think a lot of decks will slowly get better at beating Green Zoro.
This is Zach. For only 10 cents a day, who can help him get over his Blackbeard addiction.
You cannot.
For one doc Q a day.
For one doc Q a
Dude,
day.
find someone that believes in you the way that Zach believes in Blackbeard Leader. Okay.
If you're in a relationship, and your boyfriend won't go on play every time somebody negs you, it's not a real relationship. Let's be very real. Let's be honest with ourselves. But okay, so in terms of this format, who beat Zoro? I think Rayleigh beat Zoro and Nell beat Zoro.
That's really it, in my opinion. I mean, there are some matches where you can edge them out that are like really 50-50. GP, Bonnie, Shanks. I think I don't agree, but maybe, you know, because you guys are on Nami. Once
Odin gets out, Nami becomes closer to a 50-50.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of that matchup becomes very much like I have to play it perfectly and they have to not see the
curve,
nuts.
Yeah.
Which is tough. And this is, you know, I was testing Shanks yesterday and I've been testing a little bit of Zoro. I think the issue traditionally with like Bonnie and Shanks, which really play like Zoro, are curve decks, is their best curve pieces were traditionally not searchable. Yeah. So when you give this deck such strong curve pieces and the deck plays 8 searchers and one of them is a rest searcher, which is going to save you some life.
Yeah.
Like
it's not an on-play searcher.
It is not an on-play searcher. How's that feel, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doc Q it.
Swing
into it.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it, man.
Swing 3 Doc Q 3 face.
Little engine
that's my follow-up, dude.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we have that. We know that blue purple Luffy took a huge hit, right? Over the last week, we've seen a bunch of, I'm sure Dean's gonna just immediately shoot it down. We've seen a bunch of lists come out, right? Okay. Lists in the current meta, which are kind of centered around Don Quixote pirates, right? And searches in the future meta for OP13 and everything like that have a little bit more of like an eclectic spread. Have you guys played with any of those? How do you guys feel about these blue purple lists? Like we initially thought like, man, this deck is kind of fucked.
I think it's still kind of fucked. I think I think it's solid. I think it's good. I think the problem is, like we were talking about, I think power level wise in a vacuum, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think in the current meta, I think it's really bad because the decks right now in the meta either rush it down or out sustain.
Yeah.
Right. So it's stuck in this weird middle ground where it doesn't do either one.
What is this meta? It's clearly a green fucking like.
Well, again, all the decks do are again, it's a war of attrition. There's a handful of decks that rush down. There's a handful of decks that just sustain and survive and outlast. And so it's a matter of like that. It's that tug and that push pull.
How long can the game go?
Yeah, there's no real mid game point. Like the mid game becomes the most critical because it's the shifting point of like taking the tempo. But there's no deck that thrives in the middle game right now.
Right.
No. I think this is a mid-range format. Like the mid game is where games are won or lost.
No,
I think the exact opposite.
No, he's saying the mid game. He's saying the same thing you are. He's saying that the mid game is where the game is like decided.
It's shifted.
Yeah.
But like it's the thing of the game's decided in the mid game, but there's no deck right now that's strongest in the mid.
Zoro. Rayleigh.
You think they're strongest in mid game?
I think Rayleigh's strongest early.
I would agree.
I was like, Rayleigh is.
Yeah.
I think Rayleigh's strongest early, but like.
Well, it's really strongest on 4, 6, and 8 Dawn turns, and aiming to kill you on your 8 or 10 Dawn turns.
Okay, that's fair. I guess.
Like what I look at it is like Bonnie's strongest plays, like Cavendish, like Tashigi, right, to save your stuff, Smoker, like all these 5 drops, right, that are really good in Bonnie are strong when they're followed up by huge 9 and 10 drops that polarize the match from that point on. Shanks is the exact same way, right? It's just about like landing stuff early that helps you clear stuff later on.
I guess I'm viewing it differently of like early, mid, and late game in terms of what I consider.
What's Green Zoro's end game? It's just more Tashigi's.
It's just all the 3-cost events.
Yeah, no. That's really is the end game, right?
That is the end game. Is 3-cost event. Is I'm invincible. I'm gonna restand 3 times.
Well, here's the thing. I played Green Zoro. Like you guys saw me on when the set got legal. I had Rayleigh and I had Zoro both, and I was really thinking about playing Rayleigh, right? Because I do like Rayleigh. It is a very complex deck to play, and I think there's a lot. That's the one thing I do like about Rayleigh. It is a deck that does have a lot of room for growth, you know. And I think especially in the American meta, we've talked already about like, hey, we see people playing IMU, they're not playing it optimally in Japan. It's just the way people play these decks is very different depending on the what side of the world you're on, right? I think Rayleigh in this format specifically, and with like, you know, a lot of American players, they're going to play that deck recklessly. Even Zoro, I think, they're going to play a little bit more recklessly. And that
you're already kind of seeing it.
Yeah. And that kind of recklessness is going to really open up the game. That's why I'm really excited for global format, because that's going to change a lot of things. I think that deck has a huge skill ceiling in terms of like how aggressive you can really go at some point. I do think also Zoro's late game is, the events. Like when they have one life and you have an event, I feel like it's over. Like it's like you don't want to go down to one life with when you're playing a Zoro, right? Because if they have even 1 or 2 events, right? Like the blocker's not going to save you because they can just restand because it's battles. There's like we've been talking about multiple people who fell into that fucking trap, you know, and that's usually people's out for a lot. That's most decks out. Oh, I have a blocker there, you know. That's Blackbeard's out. That's fucking Nami's out. Like I played both. Zach beat me by 1K. Fuck you.
It was
but I played both Zach
game.
and Chris, right? And that one cost law just fucking holding up the world.
So he's protecting everything.
Yeah,
I love that law. That law is so hopeful.
No, and again, I think you're right. I think it's the events. It comes down to the events, and then also it's honestly the Mihawks to become play like a really big role later on.
Mihawk is very. The sleeper, once again, I think in this format is fucking Smoker. Red Green Smoker.
Yeah.
Red Green Smoker is so fucking strong. I've played 2 of them. It's beatable, but it is way stronger and way scarier.
You played against it with what deck?
With Zoro.
Yeah, I just think Red Green Smokers like
NGP. I put one with GP.
Oh, that matchup is atrocious.
Yeah, no, it got worse. It got worse.
Yeah, 100% worse. I mean, they get another searcher for consistency that finds their most important pieces.
Exactly. But also with the Mihawk, right? They restand so much fucking Dawn, dude.
Yeah, it's a 2-drop AK blocker basically, or a 1-drop if they have a smoker on the field.
I was like, I had someone pluff the 1-drop play against me Monday, and I was so sad. I was like, that's
I don't even know.
1-drop AK blocker.
Do they still run Kid?
No, they just have that as their go-to.
Some of them
now.
run 1 kid. They'll run 1 kid for certain aggro matchups just to stall for a second, so then they can go Mihawk and then just win.
Yeah, because like if you're playing Zoro or any kind of like anything that runs Mihawk and you start chaining the Mihawks together, bro, it's a lot.
It's fucking scary. And like honestly, I feel like that Mihawk is such a good fucking card, man. In any green deck, honestly. I've seen a lot of people playing Bonnie too very, very effectively.
Well, that's where I'm coming from, is like talking about those case tourneys that kind of populated all of this past weekend, right? Is Bonnie and Shanks are like top of the meta right now, at least in terms of performance at those pretty large scale events, not regionals, but
it's
between 60 and 80 players.
Coin flip, though.
And that's why I kind of pointed to Zach. I'm like, okay, well, if Rayleigh and Zoro aren't performing as well, then and it goes back to like decks that can contend and mitigate, the newcomers on the block, right?
I can't deal with this anymore.
No, it's gonna be good.
No, I know it's gonna be good. I'm just saying 2 people have taken a drink. I don't have a drink. Can someone hand me a soda from the fucking drink fridge, please?
That's fair.
The cream soda or the
not a soda. He wants the Dr. Pepper cream soda, 0 sugar, and not a single other fucking drink.
That's right. Is
in that
framed?
fridge?
Is it still framed, Chris?
And off of what Dean said, I really hope Bonnie. I keep hearing people say Bonnie is number 1, and even Blackbeard can now lose to Bonnie. I do think that's possible.
Yeah, they have 2 protections.
Yeah, they have too much support on,
and
they got a condom on the condom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't increase protection actually.
Dude, why
that shows that kind of gives you the store, bro.
Oh my God.
I hope they come back. I'm completely okay with that.
I think to be honest though, like one thing that we should talk about especially is like I think this new batch of leaders, you're seeing a much more refined understanding of like how to affect the game state and the game in general, right? I kind of like, because we had Zoro, right? And Rayleigh plays similar to Zoro. I like the way Rayleigh plays a lot, right?
Yeah.
I like the way Zoro plays a lot. It feels much, especially because it feels very meta. The 3 Dawn and everything like that. It's like again, these games are not only about like just strategy, it's also the power fantasy. You're playing one place, you're playing this character who can do these explosive things. and I think even with the new leaders that are coming out in the future, which we'll talk about in a moment after we're done with the segment, all of those leaders have really, like, IMU has I feel like IMU is just a more refined version of what you're looking for with Blackbeard, like in the sense, maybe not the exact same, but like
IMU does look fun though. I will give you that.
Yeah.
IMU.
What
IMU
makes
so
you want to just stay out just because you negate the on plays? That's why, or what?
Because he likes playing villains, dude.
It hurts my soul that he's correct. But I also, when I first saw Blackbeard, I was like, I'm never gonna play that deck. That deck is disgusting. I would never play that deck. And for the longest time, like, I wouldn't touch Lucci. I wouldn't touch this deck.
Zach gets hard when people tell him I fucking hate. When he sits down, when he sits down,
talking about dick so much, guys. What are we doing?
Because I've seen the look in his eye when he sits down and puts down his leader, and someone goes, "Fucking hate that deck." It's like, it's just
I do.
Right, rock
The Kill
hard.
Bill theme starts playing.
Yeah.
And Zach just starts like
Yeah, he's-
smiling.
yeah, he's
Bro,
waiting
see,
for it.
I got the Joe Pesci reference. You missed me again, dude.
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill?
You never seen Kill Bill?
No.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay, what's our
We're doing
list?
a movie night. We're posting it on this.
Facts.
We always forget.
We have
always
Ocean's
forget-
11.
You've never seen Ocean's 11?
Well, this is the list that I haven't seen and that he keeps digging in me for
It's
now.
not me now. Like
No,
the
you've never seen Ocean's 11?
No,
okay,
because they were
go to the
saying
list.
something Julia Roberts, and I don't know who that is, and she was
You don't
in
know who
Ocean's.
Julia Roberts
That's what I'm
is?
saying.
You
He
never-
didn't know who Julia Roberts
You never
was.
seen Pretty Woman?
What makes me want to sit down with a free 2 hours and watch a movie called
Hey,
Pretty
when you
Woman?
give those kids the bulk, ask them who Julia Roberts is, and if they tell you, you gotta fucking.
There's no way they know who Julia Roberts is, dude.
fucking.
There's actually no way.
Dude, some of these kids don't know who Peter Pan is.
Yeah, no, but that
That's
makes sense.
crazy
Peter
to
Pan was
me.
like 1946 and shit like that.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, I've never seen Peter Pan, but I know who Peter Pan is.
Yeah, I mean, you know who Julia Roberts is?
Okay, the list is Ocean's 11,
Pulp Peter Pan and Julia Roberts.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Bro, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, how bad does this go? Keep going.
No, and what's the one I just said?
And Kill Bill.
And Kill Bill.
Kill
Those
Bill's
three
crazy.
movies.
Kill Bill's crazy to me.
Kill Bill's
Because like
crazy.
the other two, I could see like, okay, maybe you don't cross your path. Kill Bill, fucking that.
I
oh
feel
my
like
God.
Pulp Fiction is the crazy one. Like, that's the one that people, like, in the past 5 years have been like, you're actually smoking.
You're actually digging.
Yeah.
Not seeing.
All right, Dean Movie Night is an actual thing.
Dean Movie Night. That's the new segment is how old can I make Zed feel?
Oh, you think we're gonna? Dude, can you imagine if we blow up from React content and people just start getting into One Piece over after
Yeah.
Dean like
Dean
for the
not
first time?
be a boomer.
What the fuck? Darth Vader's who? Just shit like
Okay, dude. Now we're see, it
No,
comes
okay.
down to like, what do I want to do with my free 2 hours of time
We
after work?
talk- we
and I
talk-
don't want to watch Pretty Woman, whatever that's even about.
We're gonna watch Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman's
We're gonna-
great.
Pretty Woman's great.
Pretty Woman's
Pretty
great.
Woman
Go
actually
for
better
lethal
have
live
like a
action.
Shin Godzilla fight scene
Do
in
you
it,
know-
or I'm just
No,
not.
Pretty Woman's
I'm
about
not,
Shin
I'm not watching.
Pretty Woman's
it.
about a prostitute.
Pretty Woman. That's a shit Godzilla.
Like, why would I
fight
say
scene.
that?
Pretty Woman's about a prostitute. Anyway.
To be fair, there is somewhat of a Shin Godzilla fight scene.
Oh,
It's
there
just not
is.
the-
It's kind of the
just
same.
not-
It's not the way you think, but there is. It comes up.
Julia Roberts
There's actually
goes 12 seasons
canonical Shin Godzilla in Pretty Woman.
No,
Okay,
but
I'll
like,
watch it.
Like, it's a stretch, but I know where you're going.
Okay, dude, it's fine. The two boomers have a connection, dude. Have you seen Pretty
Right,
Woman?
Boomer, she's
Fuck you. He's seen it.
he
He's
doesn't,
seen
he
it.
doesn't have to say it, but he knows who Julia Roberts
Yeah, I do
is.
know
You
who Julia-
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And while I have not watched any of the films that you listed, I have seen most
Thank
of
God.
those movies through clips.
Yeah,
and that hurts my
yeah.
soul.
God.
Okay. All right.
But
Well, okay, that's the OP12 format. We're final. Any final
Shin
thoughts?
Godzilla. Is Shin Godzilla and Pretty Woman tier
Any
1 or
any
tier 2?
final thoughts specifically
Wait.
on OP?
Time out. Because we gotta end it on this. Because I don't want Dean being like, "Oh, these are boomer movies, whatever." We had to explain Duelist Kingdom to Dean.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What is that? Is that the
That's from
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Dean.
We had to explain Duelist Kingdom.
Oh, brother.
He also didn't
Dean,
know
how old are you?
Sonic
You're
Robotnik
25,
at
right?
first.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
in
just
the
turned
same.
25.
You're in the same generation as like yeah.
But
Not even.
you're like an avid card game player.
Technically, he is
Hey,
not.
you know what? I know the most Yu-Gi-Oh in this room now out of the four of us. So nobody try to Lil Bro me with some Duelist Kingdom star chips.
Are you
I'm
talking
gonna
about
pick up
Meta
Edison just to,
Yu-Gi-Oh?
like-
Pick up Edison.
Pick up Edison. Chris is looking at me like all like we need a hero right now.
We need to go back.
We need to go back.
on to you.
I promise I'd never pick up another deck.
need to go
It's
back.
on to you, dude.
You're the best there is.
Dude, I keep seeing every time I walk into the shop, Dean's playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and I look and I go, never again.
Yeah.
never again.
That's like you walk into like a fucking like your friend's house and he's smoking meth and you're like, I can't do it, guys.
Jesus.
So dude, it's funny.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's like, when did you see that?
I'll walk into the shop. I'll walk into our local. I'll sit down. They're playing, and I'm like, in my head, I'll go, that looks like fun. And then some bullshit will happen, and I'll go, that's why I don't play this.
That's why it's fun.
Bro,
Imagine.
he's like, sack this, go through my deck to pick out another monster, sack that, go through my deck to pick out another monster. And I'm like, if I know this shit.
That's the fun part. Imagine if every deck had a free gecko.
Viewers?
Yeah, viewers. Imagine every deck you played had a free Gecko Moria, and half your deck was just fucking up the other person's Gecko Moria.
I mean, bro,
that sounds disgusting.
That's awesome.
You don't get
miserable.
boomer references, but you sure do cast like a boomer. Sometimes viewers. Have you ever been in
free Gecko Moria? Are you horny yet?
To the people at home.
Okay.
Don't play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Let's get back on track.
Don't play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Any final thoughts on OP13, OP12 meta before we move on to some of the stuff that came up with OP13 recently?
I think it's super wide open, but like I don't think it's necessarily the most fun, but I think it's super wide open, which I like.
My final thought, I was just gonna finish the NL thing. The reason I think NL is tier 1 is because it beats the rest of tier 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
What tier? I mean, okay, so it beats Rayleigh, it beats Zoro.
Well, yeah, what would you put in tier 1?
Let's
Rayleigh, Zoro, GP last among tier 1, and then sliding in because it beats those 3 decks. NL. I know everybody's like, bro, NL does not beat GP. I point you to the 1 cost event from OP11 that pops a base 5 cost.
Yep.
What?
Well, that brings me to my next thing. All right. So before we go to OP13, let's tease a little bit more. PRBO2. That's the next big drop, and that is a huge drop.
Yeah.
So much of this game meta changes with PRBO2.
That's when GP has its fucking resurgence.
That's what GP
dunking on people.
GP has its Poe Dameron somehow GP returned.
Yeah.
Somehow Palpatine returned moment.
Do you get that one? Yeah, you got that one? Okay.
So many fucking, like the Luffy. The Sanji, is the 5-7 Sanji who restands too?
No, that's OP13, but I think the main thing is that
those Luffy's. The Luffy's.
Yeah, the one that freezes a Dawn is going to be huge just in how you mitigate like your opponent's on-curve play because it's a 4-drop, right?
And Zoro gets another consistent 2K, right?
Are you talking about Green Zoro? Well, I'm saying like the main issue for GP right now is like Green Zoro is pretty rough. Like 2 8Ks a turn, 1 at your board, 1 at your face is pretty hard. But going into their 5 Dawn turn, if you play that Luffy and freeze one of their Dawn, like they can't play Tashigi, right? Yeah.
I think there's a lot more utility that comes into GP. Do you think it becomes tier 0?
No.
As soon as that, what do you think he stands?
I think GP. I think GP is just really gonna have a rough time with how popular Rayleigh was. I think when we had our whole shtick when we were doing the ban list stream was like, oh, so GP is tier 0 now, right? That was me. That was my impression of myself. I think my
impression of Dean is damn.
Sweat.
Damn.
That was me when I saw my 4th bad matchup at locals on Monday, and I'm like, oh brother, this guy stinks, dude. Why is everybody sweating against the GP player?
But you said the GP was going to be tier 0, like that. You were really dying on that hill because you felt like it was going to be. Like,
I did not expect for Nami and Rayleigh to be so popular. I really just thought it was Green Zoro, and I think if you just tech in like a significant amount of Hell's Judgment and Luna in that matchup, you're fine.
But like here's the thing. Like I know we've been saying the other thing you said it was going to be the worst tier 0 format, and then you came here and you were like, this is the worst format because everything is viable. So I'm like, what
that
the
sucks.
Fuck? How do you want this game to play?
That's a competitive player's worst nightmare. Is a format where everything is viable.
The problem, so again, the best to me, the best metas in any card game are when there's a clear power structure of like a power triangle, and then rogues off the side
can pick away at that triangle.
Away at the triangle, right?
But there's a clear
defined triangle, and then everything else picks away at that triangle. So there's still like pockets of danger
Yeah.
Right. And then once that's like, to me, a healthy meta, because then there's a clearly defined, meta. Right now, when One Piece, there's not really a defined meta because everything
we have
works.
kind of a meta. We have Rayleigh and Zoro in one corner.
But doesn't that make player expression?
And then whatever is against
I would
Rayleigh and
agree.
Zoro that wins. So like Enel and Bonnie. And then we have the decks that beat them, but then Rayleigh and Zoro beat everything.
So it's like
that
a fucking
beats Enel and
pentagon,
Bonnie.
an octagon.
Yeah.
With like
It's
30 decks.
But that's too many. That's the thing. There's too many
Yeah.
viable decks. So what you're saying, like the player expression, I agree with the player expression thing. The problem is that the way that the decks function now, there's no player expression other than the leader you play. Because all the lists are the same.
All the leaders are linear.
They're all the.
Okay,
all
I'll
the
agree with you there.
Like all the
I
decks
don't
that
know
you're playing
about that.
are pretty. Like, dude,
Well, do you
Zoro.
don't think Zoro's linear?
Well, I just think my issue is like, just to be like very blunt, there's too many ELO terrorists in the format, dude. Like deadass. Like it used to be like if you're playing a bad deck that just checks one deck in that format, like Enel, right? Like Enel just only used to be Dofi. And that was like an ELO terrorist deck. Like your only like job is
to take out the Dofi players.
Yeah, exactly. And now just like beats all of tier 1, and now it's a viable deck all of a sudden.
To be fair,
that sucks.
That was something where if you watch Ikai Kai when he talked about the OP, I think it was the OP10. Was it OP10 or OP11 format? There was a format that Ikai Kai was talking about where he said that's literally was the format with Blackbeard with Blackbeard for a little bit when he first came out, right? Because he came out and he was just checking decks. That's all he was there for.
Until he became top of tier 1.
But then people started teching for Blackbeard, and in Japan he went down. And then people forgot about it because people started playing other decks. Blackbeard's not as prevalent. Lo and behold, he resurges back up. So I think I mean, I don't know. I kind of disagree in the sense I understand what you're saying that like, okay, well you have a bunch of ELO terrorists, right? Which I will, it's okay. But like you got it immediately. Yeah.
Did I miss something?
He's a terrorist.
Yeah.
No, but that's what they are.
mean,
Dude. That's like, oh, we are both Middle Eastern facts.
I pointed out this to go, well, that's what they are. Like,
dude, it used to be like Enel players.
Damn.
What else? Damn, facts. That's what else is an Enel player. The issue is Joe Schmo.
I feel Bello Betty is more like probably a literal terrorist.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Bello Betty's exact definition. Of that.
Yeah.
Right.
My definition, Luffy is also a terrorist. We've talked about that before.
No, my definition
Everybody.
Betty deck is a terrorist deck. Like it's there literally to just be like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just sending you people home. That's what it feels like.
Luffy is the same way. He just shows up, someone feeds him, and then he goes,
Oh,
cool.
we're talking about
We're
talking about in the card game.
In the card game.
Fucking
in the
Yuki is a
lore,
terrorist.
yes, of course. He is technically. We can talk about like politics and structures and everything, but if we're talking about specifically nerdy ass card game shit.
Okay,
Bello
fair.
Betty is a terrorist.
Absolutely.
And I'm tired of saying she's not. Okay? That deck, people play. Dude, we have a friend who plays that deck, and like literally he just plays that deck. Yeah, I just like fucking just hurting people.
Yeah,
that's
just hurting
what it
people's
is. It's pain because and like every Bello Betty player was like, there's so many blue purples, and we're just gonna send them all home. Well, what if you have to fucking play who's Bello Betty's like bad matchup?
Nami's like
What if you play Nami?
Well, that was my thought every time when I played Dofi. It was literally like, oh, I'm just gonna play Dofi, and they're like, well, what if you play Enel? And I was like, well, fuck it, like,
which was fine. You're just like, okay, I run into one Enel, like at a regionals, I run into one Enel, right?
Yeah,
whatever. Okay.
But are all the matchups? But the matchups that we're there's like maybe 1-8-2 matchup for like every fucking.
That's the bad part.
That's the bad part.
Is you go to regionals and you just roll the dice instead of having like.
I was laughing at this. My argument was Enel could back in that.
But there's always gonna be 1-8-2 matchup for every fucking deck.
Yes, but not that's actually prevalent in the meta. You know what I mean?
Look at the LA regionals that we went to, right? Bello Betty was an 8-2 matchup for blue purple Luffy, for green purple Luffy, for Jesus. Bello Betty was fucking the devil, dude.
And then it entered the meta, and people actually had to tech for it, right?
Yes.
There's so many decks that's actually impossible.
Yeah, you can't tech. You can't tech like
because it's not a triangle anymore.
Well, because it was a thing
octagon.
like Dofi. I had this conversation with Zach because we were both playing Dofi at the time. I completely ignored the NL matchup because I just accepted I'm gonna lose it anyway.
Yeah.
Where Zach was like, I'm gonna
accept the things I cannot.
Well, Zach was like, I'll try to tech a little bit and whatever. I was like, it's not worth teching for. Like you're taking your 80-20 and making it a 70-30.
Exactly.
Like,
I was just showing Brian this because he's on Rayleigh, right? And Rayleigh has probably even more Stark than an L into Dofi. It's like Rayleigh has like a 15% win rate into an L. And I was like, dude, if you see that at regionals, actually just like scoop
and lose.
Or offer your opponent a draw. Be like, yo, you want to roll dice for this before we reveal leaders? Like that's just how it is, right? And some matchups are like worth testing for. That is not.
No, there's ones that are not worth. Like again, it's the thing of, I talked about this too. Like Blackbeard into Blue Nami. Like, bro, if the Blackbeard player is awake, you're not winning that matchup
for sure. Or Blackbeard into an L.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
like if the Blackbeard player is awake,
exactly how I feel. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if there's no point in me teching for this match, it's an auto loss. So you accept. So like the thing with the meta right now is like there's too many of those like auto losses.
Yeah. Okay, I can understand that. I can see that.
And Blackbeard, and now is my Blackbeard take. It's too many decks to tech against.
Yeah.
It's too many. There's way too many.
So are you saying OP12, OP13, and OP13?
No,
13.
No,
13's a watch.
Do you think PRBO2 is still that like fucking every deck is fucking lethal?
I think so. And look, I'm not saying that's a bad. I'm saying it's purely bad from a competitive.
Yeah. Again, I think from a health of the game, I think it's good to have moments like this to get people in.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's great.
That's why I like it.
I think it's great that like at locals, like we've even had some newer players, right? Like newer players can come in. Like Joe Schmo, who plays RP Sugar, actually has a chance now at locals, which is great for him. It's not great for me testing for regionals, but like store regionals coming out.
I think there's a way. I think that's a larger conversation we have to have about like kind of, because I feel like there are ways Bandai can mitigate the format to deal with that and make that a much more healthy environment. I've said for a long time, because even in fighting games, you have fucking bad matchups. You have the chance to counter pick and everything like that. And like even within fighting games, because it's a lot of 2 out of 3 formats, right? If you counter pick and they counter pick your counter pick, you're stuck. You got to fucking rock it. You know what I'm saying? So like even if they made something where you can side deck or you have an extra deck, or I don't know, we can talk about that on another podcast. The one thing I want to say before we move on to OP13, the big thing I think for this group, when we were talking about PRBO2 coming out that we were excited for, was Dean. Your boy's back.
My boy is back.
He's alive. He survived.
Dean's tested it a shit ton too. We've tested the shit out of this.
So tell us, how is Black Yellow Luffy in coming back into the world after the coma it was in for fucking.
Initially, I think I was pretty scared because Green Zoro felt like just a check to you, because they can just go 15-15. You can't block because they just get it back, right? And this is what shaped my opinion that Zoro is a brain dead deck. And once you learn to play around Zoro, like you just beat Zoro, right? Except it doesn't come in the game. It comes in deck construction, and it applies even more for BY because BY plays counter events, you know? So Black Vortex and BY. Like other like what is it? What did I say for GP? Is there
you said
the Magellan card? Yeah, Hell's Judgment, right? So it just comes in deck construction. Can you tech in 2 cards for Zoro and see them? Then you probably win.
I think Magellan is an incredibly important card coming up for a lot of decks.
For Emu, I
mean for Emu, for Roger too.
Yeah, that's setting them back.
Incredibly important.
Put them back to 5K.
Yeah, you know, and I think that like being able to tech cards in like that is going to be important. So you feel like it's good, but it's just
now I feel like Zoro's favorable, which is crazy. But
yeah, it's favorable, but it's not like like how bad like. Do you think?
No, I think BY is favorable.
You really?
I think it's flipped. Yeah, my opinion.
60-40.
Yeah, I'd say 60-40. It's very marginally favorable, but it's because I think I was just building it the wrong way, and that's what testing is for, right? Especially like months before a deck comes out. You can't go the like stall for a long time and play value and try to pop stuff with Kuzan. That's out the window. You just don't have the same card recursion that you did with Gecko. Like you were able to go card neutral with Gecko, and now you can go -1 with Ace. But it's a 7K body and you go wider. So what you do now is you actually just use, you go wider. You actually just use like that Ace, the new Ace, and Rush Ace. And you just play this deck that goes to 9K leader every time with 0 to 1 life. But I have like 4 to 5, 7K, 8K bodies that you have to deal with. And honestly, that's pretty fun. Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna play?
I am going to be playing it at regionals if you see me once PRB comes out. Even if it's tier 2, like top tier 2 or bottom tier 2. It's one of those decks like where I feel like my skill level is enough to push it in some of those unfavorable.
You work with the skill of the deck, like it plays into your strengths as a player.
Again, it's like Dean understands that deck better than anyone. So like it's a matter of, again, this is what we're talking about with like linear decks versus like these like high skill ceiling decks where like you can push the pilot can push it, right? Like
absolutely.
Like a good like, and this is gonna sound derogatory, but I don't mean it in this way. Like a green Zoro player, a top tier green Zoro player, and a mid tier green Zoro player, kind of gonna finish the same.
Yeah, much of a difference. No, I agree. Damn.
Like I think like the best green Zoro players and like your average green Zoro player, I don't think there's that much of a difference.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think I don't think they finish the same.
No,
I wouldn't say they finished it.
They finished similarly.
Okay. I don't think they'll end the. We have to stop saying finish like that after all the dick talk. Like I don't think,
dude. I think it's just you actually,
bro. You said the first reference you made was put a condom on a condom, and then the second thing was like
the condom is on my Cavendish. Excuse me, I'm protecting my Cavendish from removal, Zed. That's really presumptuous of you. Actually,
could he have said a sleeve and a top loader instead? Double top loader. Yeah,
but Dean goes to every tournament and uses like Trojan like thin skin.
Okay, dude. So now we're just lying.
I love how Zed started this with, damn it, why are we talking about this? And then just continued with it.
If I can't beat them, I will join them, Zach.
So okay. What are you beating, Zed?
He's beating him off. Anyway, no, but like again, I don't want it to sound like there's zero skill involved, because there is. I'm not saying they'll finish the same, but they'll finish or like the difference in gameplay is not going to be as severe as like
I agree.
Your best BYs versus like your mid tier BYs, or even like again speaking from blue yellow Nami, a top tier blue yellow Nami player versus like a mid-tier one, the difference in gameplay is going to be absolutely huge.
Right. Yeah. I would absolutely agree with that. I think that like, yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair assessment. And I think I'm actually really happy for you, man. Like, I think like happy
same. I'm so happy for you,
though, because I feel like
you can't wait to play Black.
I think that's what I meant by the format thing, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people have these leaders who they want to try to like play. Like, look, I really want to play purple black, but like,
it's good.
It's
all right.
Any deck that plays giant, I think, is matter of fact.
I still think that I still think Beer Luffy is incredibly strong.
It's very strong.
Oh my god!
But I think that deck itself has issues with, like, again, like I told Dean this, like that deck feels like you're playing like a med school student who hasn't picked a major like the year he's graduating. Like he's just doing,
which is
all
funny.
This general, which is fine. I mean, you're gonna get a degree, but like you're kind of all over the place. Like, are we discarding cards? Are we buffing our leader? Are we fucking?
It was like that with Gecko, and it's still like that without Gecko.
Yes, it's crazy. And that's
directionless.
Pretty much.
Does PRB give you a direction at all?
No.
I mean, well, no. Here's the thing. I think that it gives us an extra Nami searcher, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's a way to. I think there's an argument to be made.
How many more searches you need in that deck, bro?
Yeah, facts. How many more?
Honestly,
he's finding his beer Luffy's.
Because what is it? Green runs one more search or one more kind of draw like kind of thing.
Don't compare yourself to green purple Luffy. That deck also has too many searchers.
Yeah, but that was what made the deck consistent. Purple black Luffy felt inconsistent because it didn't have something like Merry Go. Because if you ran Merry Go in purple black, it just doesn't make any fucking sense, right? Because you're always going to be fucking high.
I'm so confused. What does Merry Go have to do with consistency?
It's draw. So
like what else
replaces itself?
You have so many tools to draw anyway.
You have Nami, which is the top 5 searcher. Law is not like Nami.
I think the searcher, the consistency in GP comes from the fact that Zoro is a body and an extender that can find itself. That's the issue, and that's what you don't have that card.
But I'm saying you could
play that card.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I tried to run a version of it that ran like green purple, right? And I was like, man, I'm missing one more search element that green Nami, because the law does not work the same. It's 4. It has to be 2 or over, right? And so, like, if I don't hit
Beer
Luffy,
can't hit
he can't get Gum Gum Giant,
right? But now,
now the Nami
now
is
the Nami can
pickable
get
off of Law.
exactly can get Jungle Giant. It can get fucking. It can get Robin. Right? It can get a lot, and then also that 6 Dawn turn. Like we used to play Sanji with a Dawn on there, right, to KO something, but cost is now so fucking all over the place, right? Oh, maybe it's a little bit better because people are not teching.
Is there a reason why you'd play purple black versus just playing purple?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons. I think there's a lot of reasons. But I would
speaking
say,
of someone that like doesn't play either one of those, like, is there a reason why? Because
you don't
running
play
it's a good segue. It's a good segue into the thing. After
OP13
playing Roger, I don't see a reason to play purple black for the 7K.
Purple Luffy gets so much better in
purple.
OP13.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about OP13 because the sim got updated. Shout outs to Batsu for doing everything on his own. The sim got updated with OP12 for West and OP13 for the East, right? So Emu's available, Ace is available, the new Luffy's available, the new Sabo's available.
Shout out to dude in our comments section that told us we're severely underestimating Ace.
Yeah,
because
we fucking so wrong.
Yeah,
Ace
bro was right.
has been dominating. Ace and Emu have been
Nami
dominating.
died for Ace's sins, dude.
It's crazy.
We thought for a second it would be also there. That doesn't mean any of the other decks aren't strong. Green Red Luffy is still pretty strong, right? But Ace is by far and away the strongest. And Roger,
it's the 10. The 10 beard is crazy.
Yeah, and Roger's
the 10 white beard is crazy.
And Roger's kind of the sleeper pick right now. It's okay. It does pretty
I just think those decks are tier 1. Like it's Emu, Ace, Roger, and they all check each other in some way. But I still think Emu's by far the top. Like
there's like I don't think it's enough for tier 0, but I think there's a clear gap.
Yeah. And I think there's a.
Does Emu lose to Blue Red Ace?
I don't know. That's why I'm kind of apprehensive to talk about.
Let's go deck by deck. Let's go deck by deck so we can organize.
If you see the nuts for Red Blue Ace, from what I've seen, it beats Emu.
The curve is
because Blood Blue Ace destroys Blackbeard, so that's why that Blackbeard's gone at OP13.
Yeah, I mean
it's gone now.
A lot of other decks destroy Blackbeard.
I just think like Red Blue Ace is pretty mitigative in terms of like it can rush down, but also it has low power removal. So like, what's Emu's way to combat rush, right? It has like ways to pop lower cost bodies, and then it has like a bunch of chump blockers. But I feel like Ace gets around both of them.
Yeah. And I think well let's start off the top with what everybody's been talking about, which is Emu, right? Emu, we've all seen a lot of the reveals, all of the fucking 5 elders, that 10 cost, that stage. We've seen people, the Celestial Dragon Searchers, because all the fucking 5 elders are Celestial Dragons, and how much that deck discards and fills its graveyard with stuff, right?
Do we like that style of printing where they basically printed a starter deck inside the set?
I like that. I
mean, we were talking about this with GP.
Yeah. People, I've heard some feedback and people don't like that. I think people are starting to, especially in terms of players that have been, I'm kind of in the middle. I don't really care because my deck came from a starter deck, right? Like, but people are kind of saying, especially players that have been around for longer, is that it's more interactive to have like cards trickle to you over time, especially in terms of like the Whitebeard Pirates core, right? And finally get them all coming together with new support. I mean, you see that with Bonnie too, right?
Yeah.
The yellow Bonnie.
I do like it when they give like 1 or 2 cards per set where you go, oh, it like revitalizes this one deck, right?
I like that. I
think it's really cool.
I highly disagree with that for a couple of reasons. Number one, when you get like a starter deck for those cards, I mean, like Shanks was pretty much a starter deck for that. Like, GP pretty much had its own starter deck there. UP kind of tried to, but didn't fucking. It was just older cards people use, right? Except for the Nami. I think there is something to be said about. I like this leader. It needs to have support. I want to play this style of play. When you don't give a leader sufficient enough support, and we've seen it for 5 or 6 sets.
Yeah, you give Robin
dog
fucking
shit.
guard shit.
I mean, here's another one. Katakuri. There are so many powerful effects for purple Katakuri, and the deck just does not have enough support to deal with the meta.
Bro hasn't seen the pudding, bro. You forgot?
Oh no, now. But I'm saying when it came out.
Oh yeah.
When it came out, was it gonna fucking? It didn't have enough to deal with what was there.
I do think though. So I agree with Zed that like, yeah, you need a certain amount of support and all that kind of stuff. I think they've gone a little too far where
Emu's like 46 cards.
Yeah. Where it's a little bit where like the core, like again, I love it when, okay, if we're speaking about core of deck, right? I love it when there's like the set gives you maybe 30 to 35 cards of like, here's the core of the deck. The other 15,
like Shanks,
the other 15, figure it out. Right, because like Shanks, had like 35, but then you put in the dragons or you put in like the Rayleigh, or whatever,
Blackbeard
right?
too. Even I mean, finger pistols.
You're saying you don't want the deck completely constructed.
Correct.
Within the deck, because that's what EMU is.
I agree with that.
Because like right now, EMU is
like 46
cards.
No, I
like
agree with that.
2Ks that you use for counter.
Or the Rebecca.
Yeah.
Like,
So I have a counter though point for this.
It shouldn't be completely.
I'm curious
because like right now, if you look at the EMU list, like he's saying, it's literally all OP13 and then like 4 Rebeccas.
or like 4, and people putting 4 Nefertiti's and then put in the Nefertiti. It was switchable. I completely agree with you.
What's your counter to that?
I was like, my counter to that is though, then you have to deal with the deck that you like being trash for a while. And
not if they do it correctly.
Okay. We probably didn't explain it well. They're not saying don't print support. They're saying they don't like all of the support
in one set.
But he's saying if it's not good, right? If it's not good, your deck just doesn't like Robin. Like Robin,
I've been trying for.
Do you want to elaborate more on that?
So, Robin is honestly a great example for that. It's with you if you don't have support within the set, and your deck then comes out. Even if you love the deck, you can't play it because you can look at past support, but it's not strong enough. And so then you're just kind of sitting there out of water. EMU is too strong. I give. But I do like the fact that the moment EMU comes out, we can play it. Every deck in OP13, yes, it's fully supported by the set. And I think this is the first set where they've done that much support for all the leaders.
Yeah.
The only time we've seen that was with GP and EBO1, and that was the only leader in the set.
But even GP,
are we arguing about support? Because that's what you were trying to clarify. Okay.
Yeah,
are we arguing about support? Or
no,
are we arguing about a fully built deck?
Yeah, I'm happy for support within the set. That's fine. My thing is, I don't want a pre-con in my set.
Which is what EMU is.
EMU is a pre-con.
Yeah.
You have very little. You have very little. Like you teching for EMU. Like you don't have a lot of space to tech. You need all of those cards. You need all those 46 for EMU to function. Versus like GP. You have Zoro can be in there, but you have the core that's in there.
The core of GP is what is the Nami Searcher. It's Sanji Pudding. It's the Rush Luffy. It's
Gum
Giant. Going Merry. Like
Shanks has flavor. Rayleigh has a little bit of flavor. There's
even in GP's case, it was split across 3 sets.
Yeah, it's like 3 sets, but then like just talking about EVO1, right? That's something like EVO1. So it's Going Merry, the Nami Searcher, Sanji Pudding, the Rush Luffy. What else?
Zoro from the starter decks.
Right. I'm saying not that just came from EBO1.
Oh, yeah.
Demon Aura.
So we can say like a core 30 cards.
Your core, even 20 cards, right? Like your
core 30. You had a core 30.
Yeah.
Because you could also run the Frankie. Yeah. People, but you saw people running the Chopper. Yeah. Right. And everything.
But like that's what I'm saying. There's stuff that you throw in where you go, okay, figure it out, right? And then it lets your imagination or your, again, we're talking about player agency, right? It lets your player agency
as a deck builder,
right? As a deck builder to like express yourself and how you want to play this deck, right? Yeah. Dude, EMU's literally 46 cards that you need to include to make it work.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot because the 5 elders are like that's 5. That's 4 of 5 different types of cards.
That's 20 cards immediately.
And I think the developers have pigeonholed themselves like crazy because what do you ban when all of those cards are needed and the deck is too powerful?
Stage.
Yeah, I don't think the deck functions well without stage.
Yep.
You switch to the 1-cost stage.
That's what I mean. Like,
that's what it seems like.
Blue,
have fun with this for 2 sets.
Oh, you're saying Mary's Law?
You now.
Yeah, if they banned the 7-cost stage, they'd just then have the 1-cost stage.
You just tank it. Like at least blue purple is still functionable in like bottom of tier 2. Yeah. I think
you don't think EMU would be. It'd be completely dead with that 7-cost stage.
I think it would be completely dead.
So what's EMU's what does it feel like to play like what makes it so strong against is the fact that it's when you get to 10 Dawn, your 10 Dawn play like it's comparable to each or Judge in Reiju for our Reiju players. But like the thing is Reiju was 8 Dawn and like Dawn -4 to produce a board that's weaker than EMU's board when it does this. EMU is doing that for 3 Dawn for playing the 10 drop, right? And then it has a bunch of Dawn to fucking spend.
Yeah, so it's a 4 Dawn play to fill your board with a bunch of 7s And then the worst part is you get an Ichiji that can swing that turn, and you still have 6 Dawn, and then your leader's a 6K.
Yeah.
So it's just incredibly abusive considering you can like do it over and over and over again.
It's the thing, like Dean and I played this matchup at 2 a.m. in an IHOP. Right? And like the Nami does okay until until he hits 10, and then it's over. It's just done.
And it has a rad beam.
Yeah.
So you could just leave.
Yeah, the rad beam's crazy.
Yeah. And it's not like, rad beam used to be like, I have to have 2 or less life. Or giant sucks if you're not like at a high Dawn because you're messing yourself up for the next turn, right?
Yeah.
Even giant has a downside.
That's what I'm saying. Giant should not be banned.
Okay, bro. Okay, dude.
I'm fucking
So then what's the one cost event?
That's the thing.
What's the downside for the one cost event?
He is big
There's
giant.
no condition. It's just
Listen,
one
working
Dawn,
with
4
Big
Dawn.
Pharma. Big Pharma and Big Giant are collaborating over here.
Listen. I think when you work hard, you should be able to reap your reward.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, Giant over here, dude.
Get those 2 cards some other way.
Yeah.
All right,
okay, dude. Yeah, I will. I just don't. I think having a 1 Dawn 4K counter with no downside. Like, yes,
I'm not actually arguing. I was just trying to tilt you.
Oh no, I'm talking about the EMU one.
Yeah, the EMU rad beam's ridiculous.
Yeah, the EMU, but it also works for something else. Doesn't it KO something if you fucking?
No, that's a different card. That's their version of the one cost event that can do 2 things.
Yeah,
like the.
What is the EMU rad beam? Is just the.
It's
rad
like divine.
beam?
It's their divine departure kind of thing.
No. They have a straight up just rad beam. Like, right?
It's just straight one Dawn for 4K.
I think it's a one cost event that does something else too.
There's another event that blows up a 7 cost stage, which is for the mirror.
That's for the mirror match.
Oh no, that's what it is. Yeah,
is that what it is?
It
blows
destroys
the
the
7
stage, or it's a rad beam. So you can run it as a rad beam.
And then they have another one. Remember, everybody was like, Rayleigh is going to be really good into this deck. And then they printed another one that's a 3K counter instead. But that one pops 2 3 or less original cost characters of your opponent. Like, dude,
fucking crazy.
Why does the whole deck come out in one set, and then you print cards that just like oppress the only counterplay to life leader?
This is the not counterpoint, but this is the other thing. When you look at like the 3, we just talked about the triangle, right? We talked about EMU, Ace, and Roger, right?
No, you were doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. So you have those 3, right? EMU's literally fucking 46 cards in this set, right? Whitebeard, or not Whitebeard, Roger and Ace are in line. They're like 30, 40.
And
like
even you don't even use all the support for Roger.
That's what I'm saying. Roger,
I've not seen one Roger deck list right now. That's one.
Roger doesn't run the 10.
No,
you don't run the 10 Roger.
You don't need to. But let's move on to that too, because I do want to talk about
real quick. We got to go back to this because one, we were wrong, but this is so much worse. So one of them is 1 cost main event. You may rest one of your Dawn. If your leader is EMU, K up to one of your opponent's cost 7 stages. Counter, if your leader is EMU, give your leader or up to one of your characters.
Or up to one of your characters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What the fuck?
So that's the first one. That's the first
so
one.
It is just rad beam.
So much disgusting.
It's just
rad beam.
Yeah.
Then
for characters
the
as
next
well
one is main, 1 cost. You may rest 5 of your Dawn. So 1 cost, rest 5 of your Dawn.
KO base
If
5.
your board only has characters with Celestial Dragon type, KO one of your opponent's characters with an original cost of 6 or lower. Counter, give your leader plus 3,000 power.
There's one more, yeah.
And the last one's a search event that's basically
No, there's one more. There's one that KOs 2 3 costs somewhere.
Look top 3 or look at the top.
I think it's
much later.
Much later?
Yeah.
It was like one of the last cards they announced.
I think you might have skipped it.
That's this.
Yeah.
That's this one. The one I just told you about.
There's another one, swear. Unless I just got what's that dude Nelson Mandela that everybody thought died or something, and it was, dude.
Are you thinking of the
Nelson Mandela?
It's not an event.
It's not an event. It's a
character. So it has counter.
It's a 3 cost, 0 power, 1K counter. You may trash 1 card from your hand if you only have Celestial Dragon type characters. KO up to 2 characters with an original of 3 cost or less.
It's unreal.
Mosgard or
Roseward.
Yeah.
I know he keeps track of all his Celestial Dragon homies.
So think about this. Think about this. Playing Dean. You're
the one that had Kuma on the chain.
Right, Zach? Playing Dean and I.
Shut the fuck up.
I have I'm setting up for Odin, right? I'm setting up for Odin, and I have like a Hiyori and like a Zeus, right? And he just fucking boom and then KO both of those.
At least
That's disgusting.
The event that Zoro got, the Rashomon, that has to be rested characters, right?
Yes.
And this is on a counter body, so it's like never a brick. And it just
It's just
But here's the thing.
And if you play it, you can kill it from your board if you
Here's
don't
the
need
thing.
it.
oh,
You can then
it's a characters you can trash it for a card, so it
Yes.
doesn't even neg you in card advantage.
on 3 Dawn. Say your
'Cause you
opponent is
move-
Rayleigh and you're on 4 Dawn and they've played 2 characters, whatever. You go, kill your board, and then I kill my thing.
Because you know
so then
Emu
draw it for Emu
trashes
ability.
Celestial
Oh,
Dragon.
that's
Yes.
true.
So you can do it on board.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually ridiculous.
That's dumb as fuck.
disgusting.
What?
That's so dumb.
Hey, Green Zoro, swing at my board. Come on, do it.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
just
God.
gonna
Oh
kill
my
Well,
my
no, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I will say this, like, because I do want to move on, because I think Emu's very strong, right? I do also want to talk a little bit about Roger, because I think that was a big thing that people were talking about. Roger is really strong. Roger's gonna be crazy. And no, but here's the thing. I've been playing Roger a little bit on the sim, right? Against a lot of emus. I have not had a really tough matchup. Maybe I haven't been playing good emus, but
No. Rogers like the check. Yeah.
Really?
Roger.
That's
is the
why
check.
those decks have developed into tier 1 behind it.
Yeah.
It's because Ace and Roger are traditionally pretty good. I mean, what a board full of 7s, what does that do against a 7K leader? That
Right.
often becomes a 9, right? You just drop
And
two
Roger
gates.
ramps so fucking fast. I think this deck,
Once again, we were right about the new gates.
Bro, let's
bro,
go.
the new gates were crazy. But honestly, man, like the Roger, I will be real. I played some new gates. That's fucking tough. Like that's tough.
Yeah.
But I will say,
well,
like,
wait,
but
did we
even-
tell
but
the
even
story?
that-
Did we
but
tell
even-
the story in the pod?
We did. Yeah.
But I think the blue red ace, which we'll get to in a second, like when he plays those new gates, Roger running those 4 Shankses is really
Oh
scary.
yeah, it's gross.
because it's pretty much a better version of Shanks.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember there was there was one game that I got 3 of the 1 cost event. I ramped the next turn I had like 5 Dawn open or 6 Dawn open, right? I just ramped to 10 and I was 7K, and the game was away. Like if you ramp that fast, you get to 7K. It is very hard for your opponent to deal. And like also keep in mind, like if you that Rayleigh is scary. The fucking the other what is it Scopper? Scopper's two draws.
Gaban.
Scopper
Gaban.
right? You play so many blockers. The Odin blocker, right? The there's so much good. Like it's just a solid deck. I think it's a solid deck.
It's a fair deck.
It's a fair deck.
Dude, the fact
That's
that
why
you
it's
just
not,
call-
that's not the best.
Did you
It's too
just
fair.
call Roger a fair deck?
It is
power
absolutely a
creep.
fair deck.
It's actual power.
It's
creep.
actual-
The
yeah,
fact that
yeah.
we're calling a 5 life 7K leader.
It's a fair deck.
Fair. It's fair.
In the OP13 meta, that is a fair deck.
Yeah.
Bro, if somebody plays Magellan, bro, you're fucked, dude.
Magellan stonks are all the way up. Yeah.
Magellan, yeah. Those
Magellan
fucking
fucks you
cards.
Get your Magellans if you haven't already. I haven't already. I passed one up at RWT and I'm
You better grab them.
Kicking my-
Magellan is fucking nuts in that. And then like, what is it? So, but then let's
Wait,
move
but
on
then
to.
don't effects turn off because you're using a non-Roger?
No, because they
No,
don't.
they
They
only
play
play for
like
10.
one of the 10.
You don't play
costs.
the 10 cost.
Yeah, they'd rather
and
play
that
Shanks.
was the only card
And to be
that
honest,
made
it's
it so that you-
it's better that you don't because you have like, and honestly the
the new
Whitebeards,
gates.
the
The new
White, you did
gates,
right with the
bro.
Whitebeards, because the Whitebeards fucking you play the Whitebeard, it's a 9K leader,
And then
right?
you chilling.
And you're chilling, dude. And you have a 10. Yeah, the board playing high power, like buffing your leader and then just filling your board feels like the new meta right now in OP13. And speaking of that, let's talk about fucking
Ace.
Which, to be honest,
I'm out of my depth here. Do you guys know how Ace plays?
Yes. It's pretty much for me. I think it's blockers and 6K bodies until you get to
You
10
get to the
Dawn
new
and
gates.
You just
You play
chain-
the 10 new gates.
So the 10 new gates effect is it's a 12K blocker, and you can put two rested Dawn on each on a character and your leader, and they play it with the fucking with the 8
The
cost
event?
event.
Yeah.
And they take the life.
When does that come out? In the starter deck?
The
Or does that
10
come out
new
the
gate?
same?
I think
There's
it's
one that
in the
cheats
set.
a Whitebeard, that cheats a 10 cost Whitebeard. Or is it already out? I'm so unknowledgeable. I don't play red decks, guys.
No, it's a blue
don't.
It's a blue
It's
card.
a blue card.
I know it's a blue card, but I'm not, it's
It's
a
out.
red.
I think it's out. Because I think I have a couple.
I think it's either out or it's in PRB. It's a deck that like here's the
No,
thing.
an ult comes out for PRB. It's out though.
We talked about how it felt like Bandai was trying to be like, please play this fucking Blue Newgate. Please play something from Two Legends. Please, will you just try this out?
I hate that card so much, bro.
But it's like good now. That's Bandai was like, you're gonna fucking play this card.
I just don't like stacks, bro. That's actually just stacks for Magic.
I had somebody actually play that and win the game for it, where they played the 10 cost Newgate, and it just creates those two. You have to discard 2 to fucking deal.
It's like actually just like Sphere of Protection for Magic. Like discard 2 cards for each attack.
It's a late game deck, and I think it's kind of a boring deck, but it's consistent.
Red Blue Ace it's a late game deck.
Well, I think what it does is it plays kind of like we were talking about with Bonnie and Shanks, right? Is that
very similar.
The plays early on are not your power plays. They're just to make way for your large plays, because in Bonnie, when your opponent plays Cavendish, right? Like, you can't just let Cavendish sit there. You have to deal with it in some way. It's going to accrue too much value. But while you're dealing with that, your opponent gets to sit at 3 or 4 life, and then they just go 10 drop, 9 drop, 10 drop, 9
and you
drop.
And you draw so much, and you have a built-in kind of a better effect than Shanks. You have a built-in better effect than Shanks.
Does it need a Dawn to be able to trash any card for? Okay,
but there's so many cards.
That's the thing.
There's so many cards in Red Blue Ace
that give rest to Dawn.
Yeah, like the Yamato.
Oh, see here, this is the Two Legends one. There's it's a 10 drop, 12k power, right?
Yeah,
it's the on play. If your leader includes Whitebeard Pirates and you have 2 or less life cards, select all of your opponent's characters on the field until the end of your opponent's next turn. None of those characters can attack unless your opponent trashes 2 cards from their hands whenever they attack.
I hate them.
Yeah, and so you have
an on play.
What's up? Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really because the thing is that
so you just chain those.
Do you think that Whitebeard has seen Pretty Woman, or just the new 10 drop Whitebeard?
Just the new 10 drop.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that I've seen some people run Roger in that deck. I've seen some people run for new. It's a very late game deck, and I think it's such a simple. It's so weirdly simple.
I'm shocked it's a late game deck. I'll be honest. When I saw the leader, I thought the scary part of that would be is if they were running the unkillable stuff.
Yeah,
and you just ran over your opponent while making it unkillable. And while making it, because if someone does manage to kill your board, you then draw and everything. So what can they do?
I think that's a testament to what Chris said, is just leaving a little bit of room, because Emu's gonna play how Emu plays. It's solid. It's
yeah,
done.
It can't really pivot. Their pivot card was Stussy. They're like, what do I do when I'm on the first curve and I'm at 9 Dawn and I can't play my 10 drop? Stussy. That's their innovation. It's like Green Zoro.
But if you look at this deck, like, it's very different. It's relying on so much. There's been so much Whitebeard support over the years, and we've seen it coalesce in some decks like close to it. But like this is probably all of that coming. It's like it's the fucking Avengers Endgame of Whitebeard. Okay,
yeah.
Like they put in the time. They've established the Whitebeard cinematic universe for both blue and red, and you can run Odin in it. Fucking like that's crazy.
Wait, I have to go back and people were playing Stussy and Emu.
Yeah, that's their tech, because
did this fucking die?
Off. Yeah, it turned off.
Okay. Nar, I told you one thing was gonna die. I told you. I foresaw this with my observation hockey, dude.
That's crazy. He played the 0 cost event.
Facts.
What? Stop.
Oh, Nar.
That's crazy.
That is a good reason to stop.
Okay, continue.
Well, no, we have
2 other cameras.
We're almost done.
So 0 cost. No, 0 cost is. So he's playing Stussy. So explain to him why Stussy.
Yeah, I was like, I want to know this.
So that's what I said. Is like they just obviously Emu wants to go second because the whole deck is a 10 drop, right? Stussy is to fix your first curve, because you get the 9 Dawn, you trash one of your things, like you just trash one of your units, right? One of your other units, and then just pop something. And like the deck struggles with large bodies and a large multitude. So like when Ace is going first and when they're on the second curve rather, and they play that 8 drop event, right? You just respond with Stussy and pop the 10 beard that they just played.
Okay. So I was like, why would you not?
Right.
Okay. So you're trying to kill a 10 drop on 9 Dawn.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, why wouldn't you just chain the Gordo, say, and then swing or keep yourself alive, swing next turn, and then go 10 drop over everything dead, and then you have the ball.
No, I think Stussy's actually just not just a 10 drop, but just whatever big unit. Like the deck just doesn't function well against a lot of big units.
Yeah, that's why. So like in the case of Ace, the reason why Ace does so well is you just chain the Whitebeards, or like in Roger's case, you just chain the white.
Yeah.
Right, and like eventually you just out, like they can't handle.
You can't deal with it. So the last thing I would say is let's talk about the last two guys who are getting a little bit not looked at. The one that people were really excited for, like late right
Sabo.
before OP13. Yeah, people were very excited about Sabo. Seemed like that effect was gonna, like, honestly very similar to like Koala. Seemed like, okay, that effect is gonna check Emu. Sabo's nowhere to be found in these other results.
I still think it's so good. It's just what we talked about last podcast, is like there are differences between like decks that warp the meta around them, and sometimes like good decks. Like I think NL was a great deck ever since it got that 10 NL in EVO2, right?
Yeah, it's an amazing deck.
It just got gate kept, and I think this is one of those cases again where like Emu's an incredible deck that just gatekeeps and warps the format around it, and Sabo's just not able to compete.
I don't think Emu's the one warping. I think honestly it's Red Blue Ace. I think Red Blue Ace is really strong, and it, like you can see it in the results.
No, I think I think Ace is still strong.
Can you look up gumgum.gg, the percentage of because it'll say
gumgum.gg sponsor us. I won't make any more condom jokes if you sponsor us.
Just one or two.
Please
just
sponsor
one.
us then.
One per episode.
I think Dean's right in the way that Emu's warping the meta. I don't know if it's the strongest deck, but it's warping the meta in the way that like Ace and Roger, the other stronger decks, are teching for Emu.
Yes.
So it's it's the deck that's warping the meta.
Yeah, I think Ace is another 3-life leader that doesn't ramp, that we'd have a easy enough time dealing with, like in the same way that Blue Purple got dealt with, if that was the S tier deck.
I have not had a tough time with Blue Red Ace, but I just see those results. Yeah. And there's something up. Something is going on.
I think it's just really good in Emu.
Yeah, it's just really good in Emu, and Emu is the most played deck in Japan right now.
But again, that's why I was apprehensive about having these conversations, is because we have to keep it in context. You said this about Japanese players before. They love to play the new stuff.
Yeah,
so
they love the new stuff.
It is week one for them. Of course, they're all going to be playing new decks. I'm curious to see. Like, Blue Purple was dominant the whole way through. I don't think Emu is as dominant as Blue Purple Luffy was. So let's see how this looks in like a month.
Yeah, I think the thing to note too is like Sabo, I think, is strong. Like again, when you talk about leaders in a vacuum, right? Without meta, I think Sabo as a leader is strong in a vacuum.
So strong in a vacuum.
Again, it's the same thing. It's the same way. Like again, my bias. I feel like Robin is strong in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Right. Like
the cards it has are very powerful.
All these leaders are strong in a vacuum. It's just like they're either waiting for their moment, or they're waiting for like the 1 or 2 cards to unlock the potential. Right.
If you ever get to like a super control meta like we had back in OP07 or OP08, right before after RP Law got banned, it was super control. Right. It's like Lucci, Bonnie, BY, all control decks. Right. Dude, if you ever get to a format like that again, Robin's gonna be so good because you're also just control, play big bodies, and banish your life. But I do it 2 turns earlier.
Yeah, I did 2 turns earlier than you, and then I'm also not letting you take your life at all.
Yeah.
I put Koala in there too. Koala is also like the leaderability extremely strong.
Yeah.
But like it just needs the moment. It just needs the moment.
Which I think is so unfortunate, which I think is like we've gotten a lot of really cool leader abilities and stuff like that. I think the only set where I really fucking hated the leader abilities was fucking OP10. Or no, OP11. OP11. Was that Royal Blood?
No, 10 was Royal Blood.
I fucking hated the leader abilities in that. But I think all the leader abilities since have been really cool, really interesting, like meta warping things. I do want to ask one question because we're already running out of time, but I want to ask one question. There's a 2K counter that's being played in a lot of these red decks that is very weird to see, and it's fucking Uta. It's the 2K Uta, which we keep shitting on, and I don't know why the fuck they're playing it. I'm so confused.
Wait, why would they not play it?
They're playing the Shanks.
Yeah, it's a 2-cost 4K blocker. That's a 2K. If you have,
it's a blocker too.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is like it was really good in Shanks because you just play the 6-drop, right?
Yeah.
Or it's a 9-drop, but it turns into a 6-drop if your opponent has a big enough body, and then you just pair it with Uta. I think if we get back to a format where it's just a lot of big bodies, then Uta's
And like in the current meta,
I completely forgot it was a blocker. I thought it was just like a 2-cost 4K. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
It's a blocker.
Yeah.
That's why you're playing it.
Yeah, and it's better than other chump blockers because 2K obviously, but also it's a 4K, which escapes a lot of the cheap removal. Like if we go to a Newgate format where Newgate is relevant again, the fact that it pops with one Dawn, is it one Dawn or two Dawn attached? It pops a 3K body.
Yeah,
just on swing. So 4K
is very relevant.
4K dodges that. Yeah.
I'm so excited for that 4-cost Shiryu and PRB.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's finish with that. So we got to talk about how our decks get boosted in the next month and a half or 2 months. I'm curious on, it's a good segment to end with how Blackbeard looks after PRB.
Right.
And how Blue Yellow Nami looks after.
And SC22.
We'll start with you, Zach. Yeah, I'm curious.
Blackbeard after PRB, I think that Shiryu does so much. I think Turbo Bird just comes back. Because you can cut away certain parts, you can do blockers, and you can KO the low stuff that give you a problem. You could just run people over at that point with Blackbeard. And so I think that's going to be really good. Control, I don't like Control Blackbeard, but I think this Shiryu...
It's too clunky, dude.
It's not... It's like Lucci...
So here's my question is like, after all this stuff, because like Blackbeard, what is the identity of Blackbeard? That's what I'm saying. Like, what is? Yeah, like what is the?
We wished upon the monkey's paw. We said this deck is too linear, and now it became non-linear, but it became fucking.
It just seems like every time I play a Blackbeard, it just seems like a amalgamation of like random stuff. Where I like, oh, okay,
because there's so many cards you want to play, and there's so many cards for different parts. Yeah, like Katarina Devon. If yellow is a problem in the meta, you play Katarina Devon.
I mean,
just to destroy yellow.
I think the deck is disruption. That's what the deck is. It's just pure disruption.
Whatever the format looks like.
Yeah, because every card affects your opponent's board state. Doesn't buff yours necessarily, right? Even Kuzan is meant to get things to affect your opponent's board state, right? So I think that like just the disruption factor of it, that's great. I think that's a cool deck concept. I do think that like the strength of it has gone down as other, and I mean it's kind of the problem that Bandai always runs into, right? They make these powerful things and they have to check because they can't make too powerful of a card for Blackbeard at this point. We thought Jackbeard was going to be this huge revelation, but Jackbeard has not turned out to be this fucking.
I think it's pretty good for the removal version of it.
It's good, but is it like holy fuck?
It could be
holy fuck.
It's holy fuck in the right format.
Exactly, and that's the issue. Is like as the format gets wider, and I think Blackbeard, Blackbeard might be the biggest winner from rotation because the thing is rotate out.
The format is the format, but formats change. The card is still exists. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that it exists makes like again, as soon as the format comes back, you just pull that, you dust that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in all games, right? Floodgates exist. Like even Badoo in Pokemon, right? God. Saw a great showing this weekend with all these Golden Go decks. Like, yeah, I think you just have floodgates are floodgates. They serve a purpose in every card game, right? And there are some metas where floodgates are like actually dead. And like Buggy, for example, is completely dead. Nobody's playing Buggy because it's awful in the Zoro, right?
Yeah.
But if the format becomes all Rayleigh and like all just like 4-cost, 3-cost characters, then you just floodgate, right?
And
in the same way,
4-cost too because it's a cool fucking Rayleigh.
Yeah.
If you play 4 of that blocker, I block and
4 of that and 4 of the other Shiryu that pops a 3 just on the turning. Like there are, and I think that's scary is floodgates that can respond to the meta. Like they're not. Buggy will always floodgate low cost decks.
Yes.
Blackbeard can floodgate on play decks. Like will always floodgate on play decks, but can floodgate other parts of the meta depending on how it's built. That's scary.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's the kind of leader that's always going to be relevant, like no matter what the format.
Yeah,
I think it's similar to Bello in that regard. I think Bello is always going to be.
She'll always be like a 3 life or like low life.
It's the check. It's the late game check.
Yeah.
Right? Or it's like it's the late game deck check. It's like
do you think Bonnie falls into that category? Because I feel like Bonnie, no green, but we didn't.
Oh, for sure.
About Yellow Bonnie.
Bonnie's like the OG floodgate.
Yeah.
Shoot, like if you were playing like an aggro deck that went wide, just like, oh, I lose one of my bodies every turn, like because it can't attack. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's
freeze, when she was playing freeze.
Yeah, even with Carrot. Yeah. So people are playing Bonnie right now, right? And that's what I mean is like our initial perception when the ban was happening was like, oh, Blackbeard's dead. Like, how is he going to respond to all these decks that it has a bad matchup into? But then Bonnie and Shanks end up being good. Like all the win a case and win a boxes this weekend, and I think that's a good point to end on because it's the most relevant to our audience. Is like all these like win a box events or win a case events were dominated by Shanks and Bonnie this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, who's the best deck into Bonnie and Shanks?
But no one's playing Blackbeard because no one knows how to build the deck. Like,
Well, that's the thing.
For the meta
That's
and to
the
deal
thing
with
too.
the
Is
meta.
like that's why those decks take a minute to cook, right? Because you have to respond. Decks that respond to the meta have to take a minute to cook to see what the meta is going to be.
Yeah.
But again, like I think the Bonnie Shanks thing is different too, just because those are decks that are the leader ability is
Is so
inherently
strong.
strong. So those
They don't need to be
come
cooked
up,
as
they come up
much.
quick because it's easy to like, oh, these are easily, you put in the new cards and it functions.
We should be looking to this weekend because for the three of us that are going to Dallas for Nats and LCQ, like this weekend, this Saturday is the first Treasure Cup post ban list.
Yep.
And I'm sure everybody's going to be responding to those deck lists they saw on Eggman and like around, right?
Yeah.
So now this weekend's going to be really important to see what beats Shanks and Bonnie. And, you know,
Because right now,
maybe it's
because again,
Blackbeard, maybe.
those two,
I think this format's wide open, and like, I think like we've said it's wide open, but I think especially with the ban list coming up, with the new changes where you have Shanks and all these kind of things, and especially because Blue Purple is not top dog anymore, and I don't know, it's just gonna be very interesting to see where people like how the Western play comes into it, how the ban list comes into it, how the new leaders are surging like Shanks and Bonnie come into it. Like I think it's a very open format for people to test things out, and I think Nats is going to be very interesting.
Nats is actually going to be the wild west.
Yep.
I hate it.
Well,
but
it's like
it
we
is
have
what it is.
so many like store championships before them. Like there's
Yeah.
so many
well,
tournaments
the
before.
thing that's interesting is like the last Dallas Nats was the RP Law ban Nats.
Yeah.
Where everyone and their mother scrambled for decks,
Mm-hmm.
and that felt like I mean, me and Dean were there. Like it felt like a mishmash of like you could run into Bonnie, you could run into Reiju, you could run into Lucci. You
I
could
ran into 4 Namis that day.
Yeah.
Blue Namis.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
how do you think that?
Yeah, you could just run into any, like the format was so weird because they had banned the top leader, and so like the meta didn't have time to form around it.
Yeah.
This one they did it right in the way that like the ban list came a month before, so like there's time for it to cook.
Yeah.
I mean, we really only have 20 days before.
Yeah, but like RP Law was banned the week before.
I'm not looking forward to. I don't think it's enough time, but that's a whole nother conversation, honestly.
We'll talk about, we can talk about like player things in the Bandai format in the next one, but I think we're it's been a nice little long cast that we've gone into
Got
stuff.
a lot of topics.
I'm really happy that we got to meet again in person because
Same.
these are always
Mm-hmm.
fun. Yeah. Any final thoughts on like the future? Well, I think the final thoughts on the future of the game right now. I think the game is in a very healthy place. I think it's a really good time to get into the game.
This is the
If you
perfect. If you're
haven't-
getting in, if you want to get into One Piece, now's the perfect time to get in.
Yeah, and especially with PRBO.
So many decks are
I think
viable.
Bandai has recognized how good this game, and I think they have a better grasp of how to deal with this, like control their meta than they have in the past. It feels very much so. This is intentional. That's where we're here.
Yeah,
is
I mean, like the
intentional.
thing that's interesting is like I wasn't on the podcast where you guys or the stream where you guys talking about the ban list, but for me, the ban list to me showed that they're at least paying attention.
Yeah,
For sure.
which
And
is
that's all you can ask. I mean, from their perspective, they want player health, like anybody to be able to step into any competitive scene from regionals to locals and perform well with the deck that they like. And if that was their goal, they nailed it on the head.
and I think it'll be good. We'll see how it shapes out. Okay, final thing before we go. Hey, do you have a mat or do you want a mat? Well,
Are you married to a mat?
Are you married to a mat? It's great. for you.
Tell Matt hi for me.
Yeah, but if you're not, you can get a mat from skilldiff.gg.
Skilldiff.gg. We have One Piece mats, Gundam mats, Pokemon mats, all your TCG gaming needs.
Yeah, and then it's made by players for players. That's their big thing. And they won't nickel and dime you. These mats are some of the best we've played on.
Appreciate you.
They are. I'm not gonna like. I would say like, bro, we're not fucking advertising your dog shit on the thing. My name is too powerful. All right, damn.
He is him.
I am him.
He's him.
All right. My name is Etabani.
I'm Dean Kazanov.
I'm Zach Chamberlain.
I'm Chris Okamura.
And we'll catch you later.